Hello and welcome here to Talk FCB and welcome back to reaction from our first pre-season friendly match, the first of our summer, and we're going to be discussing here the game in the International Champions Cup. Barcelona taking on Celtic at a very packed stadium in Dublin earlier on this afternoon, and it was a very interesting game. It was the first game of our pre-season campaign, like I say, and it was nice to see Barca again. It was nice, of course. There was a lot of new players that we maybe haven't seen a lot of as well. There's a lot of B players in that team, and of course still the likes of Lionel Messi and Luis Suárez both appeared in this game and got some minutes under their belt. But it was really nice to see Barca players, Luis Enrique, and just to see club football restarting again as the season gets ever closer and as our preparations for that new season have well and truly begun. This is the first game in the space of a week in the International Champions Cup. On Wednesday we play Leicester City, and then on Saturday at Wembley Stadium we'll be taking on Liverpool. So 3 games in 7 days. This is the first, and then Luis Enrique started with Jordi Masip, Vidal, Martinez, who was rather unknown going into this game, Jeremy Mathieu, he played camera at left back, Denis Suárez made his debut in midfield alongside Sergio Roberto and Arda Turan, and Messi, Suárez and Munir El Haddadi made up the front 3. Celtic lined up, and Celtic's preparations have been a little bit interesting because they themselves have actually played competitive football this season. They played a Champions League qualifier, and they've got a very big game coming up in just a few days. So their mind was a bit on that. They made a lot of changes in the second half. We also made a lot of changes, which disrupted the second half a little bit, but the game was certainly very interesting and quite entertaining in that first half. It started off quite brightly for Celtic. Within a few seconds there was a mistake from the young Martinez, who was rather, like I say, unknown going into this game. Nobody had really seen an awful lot of him. He made a poor mistake allowing in Roberts to get down that right hand side, which is quite frequent. Camara, who's not necessarily an out left back, he plays more attacking, he's more of a winger, more of a wide player than a left back for sure, so he was certainly doing a job there when the likes of Jordi Alba, Lucas Digne, Samuel and Titi were all unavailable today. They're not back from their holidays yet, having played quite an extensive part in Euro 2016. Martinez made the mistake early on to allow in Roberts. Camera struggled to deal with him for the majority of the time that he was on the pitch, and I think the midfield was really good, especially in that opening period. Lionel Messi had a few nice touches, Denis Suárez as well, Arda Turan was showing some good confidence, and we certainly started to ease our way into the game. 65-70% possession. We bossed the ball like it was expected to, really. And then in the 11th minute we did make the breakthrough, and it was really good play down the right hand side by Alex Vidal, who was really good for the majority of the time that he was on the pitch. And of course, very big season coming up for him, very big season indeed. Replacing Dani Alves is a very difficult task for any player. Alex Vidal, of course, didn't play an awful lot of football in the second half of last season, but certainly today he was very promising. And in the lead up to Arda Turan's goal, he had it out on the wide right, he nutmegged his marker, and he was able to get a very accurate pass to the edge of the box to find Arda Turan, who, like I say, was looking very confident early on in the game. Arda Turan took the shot on without even taking a touch. It was beautifully struck into the top corner of the goal. Absolutely fantastic technique. Really good play from him, and it was a fantastic first goal of our pre-season preparations. And Arda Turan will be very happy with that. He'll be pretty happy with his first half performance. He was confident, he looked good, he looked comfortable, and that's good to see from him. But it was about 15-20 minutes later when Leigh Griffiths equalised for Celtic, and unfortunately yet again it was a mistake from the young Martinez at centre-back. It was a bit of a poor pass indeed from Jordi Masip. He took the risk, he took the chance, passing it to the side as we like to do, to play out from the back, but unfortunately Martinez's touch was far too heavy and Leigh Griffiths was on hand to have an easy tap in and level things up for Celtic. But it was only a few minutes later that F.A. Ambrose also made a big mistake, and he actually indeed put the ball in his own net. It was a cross out wide from Juan Camara, who, like I say, isn't an out left back, but certainly going forward he looked much more promising. He got forward, he got the cross into the box, it was a lot of pace on it. F.A. Ambrose got a touch on it and it was converted into the back of his own goal, and we had the lead once again. And then it was just a few minutes before half time when the last goal of the game was scored, just before the end of the first half. Munir El Haddadi getting the goal, but it was really good build-up play and a very good team goal, this one. Lionel Messi got the ball deeper, he was dropping deep at some points in the game. He played a long pass over to the left-hand side, which you've seen him do so many times, picked out camera. He played it into Luis Suárez, who took the ball on the run, got into the area, and of course Luis Suárez, being who he is, being the striker that he is, always on the lookout for others, always looking to be unselfish if he can do. He tucked it back to Munir, who had an easy tap-in and an easy finish and a goal that should give him confidence. He showed a few bright moments, and there was a few good performances in that first half. The likes of Denis Suárez, Alex Vidal, like I mentioned. Jeremy Matthew looked a little bit suspect, a little bit nervy at the back. He didn't look fully fit at all. But like I say, this is the first game of our pre-season preparation, so not everybody is going to be in tip-top condition. Not everybody, of course, is going to be match fit. Lionel Messi did really, really well to come back and even play in this game. He's not actually due to return until tomorrow from his holidays, but he returned early. He wanted to get going, get started, and he was able to get 45 minutes of football here under his belt. At half-time, there was just the one change for us. Lionel Messi came off, Sergi Samper came on. It ended up that Denis Suárez pushed a little bit further forward, and that was a very, very interesting move actually, because Denis Suárez played very, very well in midfield, but he also played very, very well when he was pushed that little bit further forward. He linked up with Luis Suárez a couple of times. Both the Suárez's had a few interchanges. He had a good shot that was saved by the goalkeeper, Denis Suárez, and he looked to settle in really, really well. And a lot of people rated his performance tonight, and I can certainly see why that would be. Celtic made 7 changes at the start of the second half. Like I say, they had a very, very big European game coming up in just a few days' time, so that wasn't really surprising. And then, like I say, the second half was quite interrupted. There was a lot of changes. There was a lot of different players coming on, leaving the field. That disrupts the momentum, disrupts the flow of the game. And in the end, then, it was just winding down the clock, and it was quite an easy victory for us in the end. The players that came on, like I say, were some of them were unknown players. Some of them were the ones that we've seen in Barcelona be. Marlon came on for Jeremy Matthew. Carbonell came on for Arda Turan. Nice to see Carlos Elena come on. He came on for Sergi Roberto, who temporarily had the captain's armband before it was then passed to Sergi Samper. And then he actually ended up giving it to Alex Vidal. Denis Suárez came off for Alfaro, and young and highly rated striker Mujica came on for Luis Suárez. There was then another 3 changes for Celtic, and you'll see what I mean. There was so many substitutes, and in friendly games this is always the case, where everybody likes to have a run out, everybody likes to have a few minutes, especially, you know, for us, considering it was our first game. You don't want to wear too many players out, you don't want to risk the fitness. There was a few players at times who were hobbling around. Luis Suárez took a knock, Munir took a knock as well. He had to leave the field for a little bit of treatment. Jordi Massic came off as well and was replaced by the goalkeeper Suárez. So if it had all stayed on the pitch, we could have had 3 Suárezes on the pitch at one time, but unfortunately that didn't quite happen. Gerard Gumbau came on for Munir El Haddadi. Perdomo came on for Camara. There was then another sub for Celtic, and then Borja Lopez came on for the young Martinez. And that was really nice actually, that Luis Enrique left Martinez out there until about 10 minutes from the end of the game, because you know, this is a pre-season friendly, there's nothing on it, and I think if he'd have sort of taken him off at half-time, it really would have ruined his confidence. It really would have hit home how bad a game that he did have, and leaving him on for that amount of time would at least restored a little bit of confidence to him, and it would have made him feel a little bit good, because it was a bad time for him. He had a few very, very bad mistakes, but certainly you don't want to wreck a young boy's confidence, even with the performance that he had. But like I say, today was about getting fitness, today was about seeing some of the new players that we've got, some of the younger players as well, and certainly in that game against Leicester on Wednesday, we're going to see a lot more of these players, and then as the games go on and as the days go on, we're going to start seeing more and more players return to training. The likes of the Spanish internationals, the French internationals will be a little bit later than that, and we'll start to see some more of the players coming back, and we're going to be seeing more of a fit side, more of an organised team, rather than this many changes every single pre-season game. I think against Liverpool on Saturday we may see a bit more of a balanced team, a little bit more of a structure about the way that we play, and a little bit more consistency in our team that's out there. So hopefully as the weeks go on now, we can gain more match fitness, we can gain a lot more collectively about the way we're going to approach this season with the new players that we've got in. Of course, we're still looking to sign a striker, we're still looking to sign a forward in this window. That is ongoing, that search is ongoing. Kevin Gamero has joined Atletico Madrid, Luciano Vieto is on his way to Sevilla, so we're going to have to look at other options, and we have to get someone in before the window ends, which is at the end of August. So we've got some time, but but the season is approaching now. Our pre-season preparations have got underway today, and we started in the only way that we know how. We've beaten Celtic by 3-1. The goals coming from Arda Turan, an own goal from F.A. Ambrose, and a tap-in from Munir, which is very, very well worked on the way up. We've seen some of our new guys, we've seen some of our young boys, and we've seen some of our players gain some very, very valuable match fitness, and we've also seen Luis Enrique in shorts. He was on the sidelines, very, very casual, very, very calm as always, dressed in shorts, looked like he was off to the beach, but indeed he was managing Barcelona to yet another win. So leave your thoughts on today's game below, guys. Sorry that I haven't been as active recently as I usually am. Unfortunately, I've been undergoing some problems, family-related problems, which have just kept me away from the channel and Twitter temporarily at times, but I'm going to try and upload as much as possible, and I hope that you have enjoyed this video today. I'll be back as soon as possible with some more videos and updates. I will see you very, very soon, but until next time, as always, Visca El Barça!